Hi, everyone. I am Johnnie Urban, and I have a guest speaker here, Leena Bansal. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but it's like Leena Bansal. Leena Bansal and I have been friends for a short time. We met, I believe, in Facebook, somewhere in Facebook, and she is here to answer some questions about how COVID has impacted her business and her life. So this is me, Johnnie Urban. I have a business called Stop the Madness Business Solutions, where business owners hire me to increase their revenue without spending any money on the marketing and advertising. And right now, I would like to introduce Leena, and I'm gonna just read a little synopsis here of her because she is fascinating and amazing, and you've got to know who she is. This is an incredible person. She's an entrepreneur, a startup strategist, and execution mentor. She is passionate about helping startups and fashion brands to help determine what their company stands for and promote loyalty and clarity on their sales and profits and scale from startup to mega brand status. Who wouldn't want that? Oh my gosh. Being born and brought up in India, having lived in different parts of Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Sweden, Switzerland, and currently residing in France, life has taken her to many places, challenged her, and made her think outside the box constantly. Welcome, Leena.
Thank you, Johnny. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. You have traveled in parts of the world I've never been at, but really want to go.
You never know,
I really want to really want to go. Uh, so so I have a question for you, Leena, because our listening audience really wants to know a little bit more about you and basically how did you decide? How did you start with this business that you have? Because you've been doing it for a while. Can you tell us that story?
Yes, Johnny. Uh, Actually, Johnny, I have been associated with fashion industry over 20 years now, maybe more than that. I did my master's in economics and I was never happy. So I requested my father that time to do another master's in fashion designing. So I did double masters, and when I joined this master's into fashion designing, I was one of the most happiest persons. And then since then I have been associated with fashion industry. I worked with different fashion designers, and then since last 12 plus years now I am running a fashion buying house. And while designing and producing for many fashion brands, it encouraged me, kind of like, giving few tiny tips to them while I was designing for them, knowing their geography, their demography, their psychology behind the brand, and knowing them better. And it encouraged me to give them few tips as well, because this is what I had been doing for so long, so many years. So I kind of got the idea whether this is a new brand or it's already established brand. So based on this, of almost around 2 plus years, I did my ACC PCC, and after that I started my another venture which was also related to fashion industry, and I professionally started helping, became a fashion startup mentor and a consultant. So last few years now I'm helping these new emerging brands in setting up their strategy, their business model, finding their niche, and once they find their niche, how to find the market so that their niche and their customers interest can match. Then only they will be able to execute their business, worldwide. Then only market will also be generated for them, and I'm enjoying this journey so much now. This fashion buying house is have taken a back seat, and this has taken the front seat. So I'm more working as a fashion startup, and more nowadays fashion tech, because each new brand is adding artificial intelligence to their fashion brands. So everything is connected with emotional intelligence now. So I'm more or less working for fashion tech startups now.
Wow. Well, that's a pretty unique and interesting, very interesting path that you've taken. Yeah. And yes, and to be
Something
able,
related to my heart,
yeah,
something my passion.
and able to take your own experience and morph it into being a mentor for people that up and coming, the fashion people that really need this, that they need tremendous help like this, because I can't imagine what kind of help they get out there. It's not my genre of understanding how it happens. I just know that when I see clothes that sing to my heart, I just, somebody must have designed that, and then it had to be marketed. So yeah, it's like we all love that. Thank you, Lena, for doing that. So so now we're going to transition into what's been happening with the world in the last year and a half or so is COVID. And and people that are listening right now really want to, they want to hear how successful people, or maybe how your struggles were during the COVID transition. And they want to know, as we're coming hopefully back into a, you know, I can't say it's a normal life. It's probably best described as a new normal, and about how we're going to navigate with businesses going forward. And so my first question to you is how often did your local government and authorities force your area to shut down, and how often did that happen, if ever?
Yes, Johnny. Johnny, actually, I'm living in France, and my first business, which is a fashion buying house, the whole production house, unit, designers, everything is based in India. So when first lockdown happened, I was in France and then factory. So I was in lockdown first, then India came into lockdown. And when I was in lockdown, was in lockdown. I was still working because my factories in India were working.
Yeah.
So that time emotionally I was not that much affected, but when India as well came into lockdown, it was kind of a shock for me, because everything kind of like, not only business, the mails I was receiving that time, most of the mails were like either canceling of the order or postponing it, or the of the order, or they were not replying to my emails.
Uh,
I did not know what to do. So like first week, me and my merchandisers, my employee, the whole team, we used to sit together to brainstorm what next, what to do, because we were seeing how much inventory in the factory and how much, and then labor, like, everybody left that time because nobody was sure what to do. So whosoever in whichever direction they thought labor, and each and everybody, they took the decision in that direction. After 1 week, I kind of accepted it. I'm like, this is not the time to think about the business, because the way things each and every day was progressing, the way we were hearing so many news from left, right, and center. Media was also, the more you were listening to the media, more it was disturbing for you. So I thought there is no point of thinking of the business right now. I remember I immediately took out the books I was thinking to read for years. So, almost for around 2 weeks, I just focused on myself. I just, because we were in lockdown, we were not even allowed to go more than a kilometer from our house. So, just going for walk, and otherwise at home taking care of myself, reading. In fact, I joined online meditation classes, some online yoga classes as well. uh, uh, because my kids also joined, so learn few more cooking skills. So I kind of, but after 2 weeks as well, you cannot just sit like this, because business is already there. You have to take care of salaries, you have to take care of the rent, but thankfully government supported that time. So that was a phase, it just passed on, and we have to move on. So everybody suffered, we were one of those.
yes. So was there any like what I call a yo-yo effect, where the government would let you open up, or India opened up but then it shut down again? Was there any of that going on?
No, we were almost around 2.5 months. We were in lockdown, and here as well in France, I was in lockdown. My business was such, I used to travel quite a lot. So every third month, I used to be in India, and plus my this mentoring and coaching business, most of my clients were from US because those were the brands I was designing and producing as well. So they were also not sure what to do. So my mentoring business was like both the ventures were completely down. So in terms of reopening, anyways, rents and salaries we could take care of it, because rents, government asked them not to charge for the rents, and also in terms of the salaries, whatever the basic requirement was, we took care of those, of that. So it took, but personally, I that time I wanted to also kind of like, I wanted to connect with the people I was associated for such a long time. I started calling them, I started asking them, how are you, how you are coping with all this. Daily, every day, I used to call two of my clients just to find out about them, how they are doing. And they kind of acknowledged it. They kind of realized that I want to know about them. I want to keep a track about their
Mm,
health, their well-being. And it gave me good feeling, it gave them also good feeling.
yeah.
And I don't think for 2 months I consider for business. I didn't want to pay attention to the business. That was in fact not a time to think about the business. Whatever loss was done, it was done. So
Mm,
uh, you when whole world is suffering that way, I think
mm,
financially it was such a meager thought that time to be. In fact, sometimes I felt it is a selfish thought at this moment to
mm.
consider financial aspect of your business. Just as long as you can exist, that's more than enough.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I've talked to so many people, and they had the same sentiment. I myself included. It's like this is not the time to reach out and try to sell or do what we're doing. This is the time to reflect and come back and stay centered and and not panic for sure.
Hmm.
And so, yeah. So is there anything else you'd like to add about how it has personally affected you or professionally affected you, the COVID?
Uh, yes, actually, professionally, because I mm, I was not focusing that much on my second venture, Leena Listens, which is mentoring and consultation. I started focusing on it more.
Mhm,
So for that, because till now I was already associated with so many brands, so I was kind of aware about the fashion trends, how the fashion industry work, what are the
mhm,
different business segment of it, what type of strategy should work out it. But this time I thought I should read about them. I should. So I joined couple of portals where they were giving you so many in-depth knowledge about it. I started reading lots of books related to mentorship programs. How, what type of strategy, what type of tools, what type of tips and tricks, what type of goal setting, different ways. I kind of
mhm,
created one software as well that time, which helped me in creating a proper roadmap for my clients, and it
mhm,
helped me so much. In fact, I did not before that I used to sit for hours to create a right roadmap after the discovery call, but that tool helped me so much in giving a clear view of how you are standing right now, and in 1 year's time, as per your vision and mission, where you could reach. So I invested my time into those tools which could help me in knowing my clients better, because I have always believed in whosoever I work.
mhm.
Only thing, you need to invest in yourself as well to give them the best services.
Yeah.
So that was the time of self investment, and I did that.
Yes, yes, that's really great that you did that, and it's really would be great advice for anybody, when you have any kind of a slowdown or anything in your life or whatever, is to just dive in and learn as much as you can, especially about your clients. It's the best way to support our clients and our business is to basically fall in love with our clients so that we can help them at a better level. That's just fabulous, Leena. That was brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for that. So I have another question for you. I said, do you feel you can recover the lost revenue over the next 12 months?
Johnny, to be really frank, I even did not try to calculate how much I lost because
Mhm.
now business of Indibala, this fashion buying house has come back and we are working in full swing right now. But I'm more focused on my another venture, Leena Listens.
Okay.
And in Leena Listens, I'm enjoying this journey so much because uh, in last 1 year, I think I do not know whether it is because of COVID or why so many startups have come up, so many of them, those in fact
Mhm.
related to the corporate world, because when they got time sitting at home and working at home,
Yeah.
they had some dream. They also along with the job set up their own company. So those all the aspiring minds who were willing to do something, they got the time to do it now.
Yes.
So right now, in fact, uh, I am hearing every other day a new interesting concept these startups are introducing. And I'm loving it because I could not even think of these brilliant ideas had I continued working the way I was working. I'm connected with these aspiring minds now, and when I come to know, and I want to make sure they should not fade away, because the way new companies are coming up each and every day, there are chances in 2 years or in 3 years cycle they might fade away. So
Mhm.
right now our role has become so crucial to guide them in such a way, not thinking our own financial side of it, that they are on the right path.
Mhm.
And I feel this is our responsibility right now, because these all are very young adults. They all are late 20s, early 30s, and they have big dreams. So recently only I was talking to somebody and I'm like, I'm working with 3 4 startups, and I want to ask them, start trading each other the resources, because you are looking for same this thing, and that another company is also looking for the same thing. They cannot afford it, you can afford it. Maybe try to figure out how you both can collaborate with this resource, so that
Yes.
you both can cut down your cost there. So it's like, I'm seeing a new word now, which I was not exposed to this word. So I'm thankful of, whichever direction I'm going to. I'm a person who likes to keep her hands busy in 10 things. I'm always been like that. So I am right now associated with these young minds, and I'm more than thankful of what I'm doing right now. So
Oh,
whatever is there, we have to accept it, and it's better we accept it positively.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, don't fight it, accept it. But the collaboration, especially with these young minds, these young, talented minds that really want to make some shifts and changes, not only in their personal life, but in the world, is like to nurture them. They're our future.
Yes.
And yes, to nurture them and help them grow and everything is just fabulous. Just fabulous. Thank you
Right.
for that, Lena. Thank you. So yes, and we don't know, honestly, we don't know how much longer the world's going to take to recover. If, it's going to take a while from what we've been hearing, at least here in the States. It's going to take a while. Um, and to project out 12 months can be kind of like a, yeah, maybe, maybe not kind of thing. But um, I always look at life as like, you know, that would be a good attainable goal to recoup and recover in a 12-month period. But what if it were more of an intention? Let's look at what's the intention of maybe recovering in 12 months. Keep looking forward to that. And that's a beautiful thing. So do you think that What do you think, because you're on the other side of the world from me. And fortunately for Zoom and all of this, we got to meet and talk and everything. You're late in the evening, I'm early in the morning here. So, but it's, it's like, if you could estimate from your point of view, from your part of the world, about how long do you think your recovery would be?
Recovery in terms of professionally, or recovery in terms of the world, or the surrounding?
Well,
I do not.
your local little community, your local, piece of the world where your business operates. So you operate in France and India.
Mhm, mhm,
So it's like, do you have any thought or idea of, okay, uh, or just a feeling of how long do you think this will take to recover and start building the business that you've been in for years?
Johnny, I right now I'm seeing a different aspect of people's emotions and feelings. I think uh, the word when people used to just think about their business, about themselves, is slightly switched to the feeling of empathy, feelings for others,
Mm,
feelings for personal well-being. I feel people have started taking care of their health right now more than
mm,
earlier they used to do. So when we talk about recovery, I do not know, because I feel, I know so many people, they are locked, they were locked into, in a small apartment, and, without any balcony, or
yeah,
not
yeah,
able to go out. So that was the time I started feeling blessed for myself, at least I could stay outdoor in my balcony, or also, um, you know, people, what they had undergone, those, you know there are few things which you can never repair,
yeah,
which you can never come out of it.
yeah,
And uh, if anybody can support to anyone in whichever way, this is the time we should prioritize it,
mm,
because you never know, somebody next door is having some issues. So uh, we should be thankful, people are working remotely, so many children, they were staying away from the parents, they could come back home, and they were able to work close to be their parents.
yeah,
There were so many, partners, they were, or husband and wife couples, they were working at different areas, different countries, they could stay together. So there were so many good things also happen.
yeah, yeah, very much so.
Right. So maybe we
Yeah.
should start thinking all the current situation with, so in fact so many newborn babies are born.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
um,
yeah, what a God. And I know even here we're thinking as is that there's some things that we want to keep. We don't want it to ever end because of what the COVID had done. And I know some things I was reading this morning about, there's a lot of restaurants in my area that had they had established the to-go orders that they never had before. And I was just reading this morning, it's like they're going to keep it. They're going to keep the, hey, the to go orders to go, because people, the consumers, like we were consumers too of the local restaurants that did that, and we're like, we like it. We like, sometimes we don't want to get in our car and go to the restaurant and sit out there and everything. The other thing that we like here, especially we're in Southern California, so our weather is fairly even most of the time, is the outdoor seating areas. They've closed
mm,
off streets that have all these restaurants, and they've actually closed them off and created like outdoor dining rooms. It's so wonderful to sit there like under the stars or the umbrellas or whatever, and just have and have a nice open meal outside. It's so nice. So we're
Johnny,
just hoping that stuff stays.
Right. I still remember first time when we opened up and first time I had coffee with my husband sitting outdoor in a restaurant. How blessed I felt that time. We completely forgot about all those blessings. We were just taking things for granted, as if it was our right. And when first time I was having coffee sitting outside with my husband, I'm like, "Oh my God, what a beautiful feeling it is right now."
Yeah.
So, and when you are saying yes, so many restaurants now they have only the a small kitchen instead of having a full proper setup, and they could survive because of it, because they were delivering lunch and dinner. So many apps got created to supply for the food. And I remember I was reading somewhere in France, in Paris, one Michelin star chef, he decided to start creating his food in a van, and he started giving that Michelin star food in a van.
Oh my
So
gosh.
you can imagine.
Oh my
So he
gosh.
was able to enjoy that delicacy just standing at the road, and he was doing during the COVID time, people could
Yeah,
order the food. He created the app as well, because he was kind of, I was sitting at home, I was getting bored, and then I thought, how can I again start cooking? So he found out the solution for it.
yeah.
And so people became creative. They started thinking out of the box. Maybe
Mhm.
we needed this time to just sit back and
Yes,
think what else we can do with our life.
exactly.
See,
Exactly.
I never saw such clean sky, as I never
Mhm.
saw so many birds sound as much
Yeah,
I heard during those times. So business will definitely come back for each and everybody, because it's a phase. And in fact, for us it has come back, because fashion industry can never stop. And in fact, this time people have brought up so many sustainable products. I remember so many recycling brands are coming. But earlier, people were just buying and throwing, buying and throwing. Now, that
yeah.
sort of feeling is coming. Let's start buying sustainably. Let's start investing in sustainable products. Let's not
Mhm.
purchase so many products which is just creating, which are not globally so sustainable. So,
Yeah.
that sort of awareness, because in fact, all the used article, or whatever the extra inventory we used to have, it was so troublesome for us to keep it. And nowadays we are creating new collection with all those old stuff,
Oh,
because people have realized, please do not waste, send them to the landfills, please reuse them. We are reusing
yeah.
them. And this sort of somebody recently showed me her website. She has created her own new startup, where she is contacting to different retailers, different outlets, different suppliers. Whatever extra inventory is there, this is a place you can contact. Here you can submit all your collections, send the images,
Mm.
send the fabric quality details and everything, and then our designer can recreate something out of it, so that instead of they create so many social
Wow.
impact, they can be reutilized. So I
Wow.
feel at least people have started thinking for the world, for the globally, for the environment, how we can be globally sustainable. So I maybe a few good things have also come out of it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that goes way beyond taking an old T-shirt and washing your car with it. That goes way beyond that. So yes, that's something that I'm beginning to see myself in our little world here is to repurpose clothes and stuff, and I'm beginning to see it here, and it's good to know that that it's worldwide. Yeah, it is amazing. So let me ask you just a couple more questions. Here is did the virus cause you to lose any employees?
Yes, Johnny. Yes.
Yes.
It- uh, Actually, our fashion buying house, I'm outsourcing with few factories. few in partnership and few just outsourcing, and they were having so many employees, and that was the time we heard few bad news as well. And it was pity we were not able to support them, their family also that much, but yeah, whatever we could support financially we
Yeah.
managed to do that. But yeah, it was not a nice feeling to have that sort of news
Mm-hmm.
that time. So because if
Yeah.
they could recover with the first wave, few got affected with the second wave. That
Yeah.
was the main issue, because in India second wave was more severe. So uh, that was we kept our factory on. We also kind of provided the staying facility in our factory
Mm.
on top floor.
Right.
uh, but still, it was there were few hiccups, few
Yeah.
bad news we
Yeah.
had.
Did you lose any suppliers or service providers also?
Yes,
Yeah, all
yes.
those. Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
them, and uh, we lost him because he wanted to go close to his parents. He closed down his factory. He gave the whole setup to some other exporter, and he is taking care of it. But I was working with him day in and day out. I used to talk to him every other day, but he wanted to go close to his parents. Parents were old, they needed to be taken
Mm-hmm.
care of. I realized, people's priorities were also changed that time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they a few of them, they gave their personal satisfaction and personal well-being and family well-being more than the professional well-being. So
Mhm.
only one of them, otherwise all other thankfully was in
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah. Yes. And thinking about, are they going to come back, or are they taking a different, better path for themselves personally? That's a big question that's hovering over all of us about employees and service providers and everything. The world certainly is changing because of everything. So
Mhm.
one more question. One more question. Have you taken any precautions, or are you planning on taking any precautions from your experience with COVID to prepare for a similar disaster in the future? Have you given any thought to that?
Uh, Good question, Johnny. Actually, in terms of precautions now, uh, I was talking to my service providers. They have become more hygiene prone. They have started taking care of more, cleanliness in the factory. They make sure that employees also take care of them very well. So, and basic medication facilities have also been introduced in those factory. In terms of my uh, this another venture, Leena Listens, I kind of, I feel the bonding between me and these startups, it would not have been the way it is now, because of the feelings and emotions going on in the environment.
Yeah.
So whenever we interact, we make sure there is some sort of sustainable side into their startup, which was
Yeah.
never before earlier. So now we made sure, their employees are being taken care of. Also, uh, they don't do any sort of activity which could be something,
Mhm.
unpurposeful. They have to have some sort of purpose related to the society as well. This is my feeling, but you never know.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You and I both know a lot of people that are purpose driven,
Mm.
and it's important, that big purpose of why we do what we do. So yeah, it's and things, tangible things, like you said, the sanitary, keeping things super sanitary and clean. And my thought, and I share this thought with a lot of my friends that live here locally and everything. It's like when I go eat, specifically when I go eat in a restaurant now, and it's like one of my favorite ones is Wahoo's here locally. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a fish house. And it's kind of like, you go in to order your food, and then you go find your table, and then they bring it out to you, kind of thing. But what
Mm.
happens is like in the past, we would go and look at the table. Somebody had just eaten there and nobody cleaned it off. They don't have the type of service where they're going to constantly, they don't have a dining room person constantly cleaning tables off. So we would go and look, and these tables are outside too. Um, so I'm looking at this table with food crumbs and, dust and stuff on it. And I'm just like, okay, I would go back into the restaurant and ask them for, can I get something to clean this table off with? And half the time an employee would come out and clean it. Half the time they'd give me something to clean it with. And me, in my opinion, I don't care who cleans it as long as it gets clean before I sit down. But nowadays it's like, now I go there and they have a couple stations and tables out there where they have towels and they have sanitary stuff that you spray before you even sit down. I don't want that to ever go away. That should have been there from get-go, from the day, the place opened up. And so now I'm seeing this, not just in this particular restaurant, but all over the place. If they don't have the employees, which employees are tight right now, everywhere, in every restaurant, and every place you go, hiring there's a hiring frenzy going on, but people are slow to come out of their homes because even if they're inoculated, there's still a fear of they might still get it. So it's slow hiring right now. So every place is opening up is understaffed. And if they don't have the staff to come clean those tables off or to clean wherever you're at, the door handles, the whatever, I'm taking my own stuff or I'm finding a place where I can clean it. It's like working together as a team, in my opinion, is to keeping everything safe. And that, in my opinion, going forward in the future should always be there. Sanitation, safety should always be there going forward, because honestly, I don't know where you're at, but we didn't have a flu season this time. We usually have a flu and cold season right after the first of the year. We didn't have one because of all this was going on. And and yes, we were all wearing masks and everything. So it's like, we didn't have this huge flu season that was also, could potentially kill people. So it was my impression, in my opinion, is that's something that should never go away and should continue, the sanitation of everything and being safe. So yeah, that's my preparation. And then businesses in general can also look to the future. Okay, could this happen again? Yes, history repeats itself. So what can we do to protect our business, protect our employees, protect, everything, so that the hit when it comes is not going to, be as devastating. This is something to learn from what we just went through. Something to learn from and how we can go forward with it. A lot of businesses definitely had to shut down and will never come back. And that's a shame, but maybe they were on their way out anyway. There's such a thing as industries becoming dinosaurs. I mean, entire industries become dinosaurs, and maybe the COVID pushed it over the edge. So something to think about. Something to consider. So, Leena, I understand that you may, in order for people to contact you, you have something, or maybe you have a free gift that you want to offer to people and how they can get hold of you.
Yes, and I want to say anybody who is having any type of challenge regarding their business, regarding if anybody wants to set up their business, anybody who is willing to do something and having that desire but not able to take that first step, I'm available and would love to give them a free discovery call, and also to give them few important tools and tricks so that it will help them in long run.
Mhm.
And anybody hearing me out, every day for 2 hours I have blocked my time for that, and whosoever contact me, it's easily approachable.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'll make sure I get Lena's link, and we'll post that with this video, wherever we put this. It's going to primarily be on YouTube, but of course you'll see it on Lena's social media and my social media also. So thank you for that beautiful gift, Leena, and your huge desire to want to help others and help other businesses. Thank you so much for your time and your consideration and your beautiful givings. in this interview. I really appreciate that, and so does the audience. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks
Thank you.
for
I appreciate. So
opportunity.
again, I am Johnnie Urban. I have a business called Stop the Madness Business Solutions, where business owners hire me to increase their revenue without spending any more money on marketing and advertising. And you can find me at STM Business Consulting. So thank you so much, Leena. And thank you, audience, for listening. And you all have a great day and a great year.
Bye. Bye, everybody.